Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is Q&A Live. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pisapia. With me today is my Patty Cakes, Pat Fitzmaurice, and it's all of you hanging out here talking fantasy football on the YouTube channel, Fantasy Pros. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you drop your comments below because we're trying to get to 300,000 subscribers this year, and we can do it with your help. Plus, we're going to give you some free stuff if you do everything that I just said. So, if you want to win this bad boy, the A.J. Brown Salute to Service autographed helmet from pristineauction.com. Go Birds! It can be yours. All you got to do, again, subscribe to the channel, drop your comments below, like the stream, and ring the bell till it goes ding so you never miss a piece of content here on Fantasy Pros. Pat Fitzmaurice, lots of goings on here today. I saw a rumor circulating Travis Hunter's getting divorced already. That didn't take very long. Is that true? Have you searched the courtroom to find this? And how is that young man going to take a divorce this early on in the season?
I have not seen that one, Joe. I've been trying to keep on top of the courtroom proceedings with, well, actually not a courtroom proceeding, with Quinshon Judkins being cleared and Isaiah Bond being cleared and now suddenly free to sign with the team. The undrafted rookie free agent from Texas who had not caught on with anyone. So had not been checking out the People magazine type news, Joe. I'll leave that to you.
I'm the TMZ guy, I guess, around these parts. But again, it's a distraction for a rookie. You know, that's all I'm saying. Just putting that out there. There's been a couple of distractions.
She probably didn't appreciate all his fishing.
I don't know, man. But I mean, if you were paying attention during the draft process, there were a lot of questions about this relationship to begin with. And how does it matter about fantasy? Well, like I said, distractions, focus, all these things. They're people. They're not just statistics. They are people, and it's hard enough to be a rookie in the NFL, but it's also hard to play fantasy football. So we're going to take your questions here, and let's start at the top. Before we do, just a quick reminder, too, if you've got a burning question, you got to get answered right away. You'll move to the top of the queue. All you got to do is super chat us. So, again, super chats are live. Send us a super chat. You'll go right to the top of the queue. Again, that's always here on Fantasy Pros. Let's go with Tony's question first. Hey, guys, me and some buddies decided it would be fun to do an 18-team guillotine, or I should say gauntlet draft. I think you mean guillotine, same thing. I know everyone calls it something different now. Any advice on this crazy draft? Yes, I've done many of these. I do about 2 to 3 of them a year. A couple years ago, I won a big money one. I won an expert one 2 years ago. And I made it to the finals last year at another expert one. But guillotine for me, very simple. It is draft the guys that move the needle early. And it's okay to go early quarterback. The reason being, I know Lamar Jackson's going to get me a pretty damn good base of points, right? Every single week. You do have to worry eventually about buys. They become crucial. My advice to you, get the needle movers, invest in big wide receivers and the quarterbacks because those guys you're typically, in a good place with. Running backs, you can kind of filter around. Every week, running backs get hurt. Running backs get dropped back into the pool. Use your bids accordingly. Be aggressive when the players that get dropped to the waiver wire from teams that get chopped. Go ahead, be aggressive on those guys on the waiver wire. To me, that's the thing you want to do. You get a shot to get them. You get Derrick Henry if some team ends up having to be out of it. And then the other thing that people neglect to do is when waivers processed, dig a little deeper and see the names that got dropped that are still floating around there and pick those names and stash them, or interesting ones like, oh, this guy had a good game, but nobody picked him up off the quote unquote wire or whatever. Stash those guys because eventually they do help you cover buys. And that's a little part of the process that people kind of neglect. Pat, do you have anything when it comes to chop leagues, guillotine leagues, gauntlet leagues, whatever we're calling them today?
Early season schedule. Pay attention to it. Like, for instance, I know the Chiefs face some really good defenses right out of the chute. So you might want to be a little, I'm not saying don't draft Chiefs, but maybe knock them a few spots down your board. Carolina Panthers have a pretty easy run right out of the gate. So maybe like Chuba Hubbard, you move up a couple of spots in your thing. And I know some people think you should pay attention more to floor than to ceiling, and that maybe it's better to have a Jacoby Myers type than a Jameson Williams type. The only problem with that is that as teams get eliminated and more players hit the waiver wire, Jacoby Myers probably isn't startable from like week 8 on in those leagues. He's just not good enough.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. It's a war of attrition. It's a war of paying attention to those leagues. People think, oh, it's just a gauntlet league, whatever. No, you really have those are rewarded for the people who pay attention to the, like I said, the little details, getting ahead 2 weeks in a bye week, and being able to say, okay, I got to have this player, or this is, when you have those bye apocalypse weeks every year in the NFL, Pat, understanding where those are and what players you have and don't have, and having to cover those like 2 or 3 weeks in advance and doing it on the cheap, that makes a huge difference as teams get eliminated. But look, try to just survive the first couple weeks, just a week at a time. That's all you got to do. Then the next thing you know, all those players just keep being aggressive. Michael here with a question. Would you trade the 11th overall pick and St. Brown for Trey McBride and the 5th rounder in the 5th round and the 2nd overall pick? So I assume this is Trey McBride, 5th round keeper value, and 11th overall pick and St. Brown. Am I reading this right, Pat, or have I gone cross-eyed?
Yeah, so the 11th overall pick and Amon-Ra St. Brown. So he's trading 11 for 2. He's moving up in the first round.
Right.
And giving up St. Brown and getting Trey McBride as a 5th round. So we don't know what Amon-Ra St. Brown is, what his keeper.
I don't know his keeper situation.
That's the missing.
Yeah, that's where I got lost there. I don't know, man. The best player in this deal is Amon-Ra St. Brown. If it's a keeper league, 2nd overall pick. I mean, you're not going to get Genty there, right? If it's a new one, I mean, maybe you do. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, so, it hinges on the keeper value of St. Brown, I think. Like I'm interested in it, possibly, moving up to that 2nd overall pick, and Trey McBride.
Yeah, we need more information on this one, Michael. I think that's what we need, a little bit more information. All right, we got a lot of questions flying in here, so let's get to, again, super chats, as we said. And 3 wide receiver, 2 flex, 6 bench, half PPR. Would you rather focus on wide receivers or running backs? General thoughts, Pat?
Wide receivers, because you're going to be able to start so many of them, up to 5, and the receivers are going to make up a huge percentage of your starting lineup every week. So I do not want to fall behind at that position. I kind of want to stay ahead of the pack and piece it together at running back if need be. And also maybe, be willing to not go for the elite quarterbacks and tight ends and just be patient. Wide receiver depth is going to be critical in a league like that.
Lorenzo Sotelo, what do you do with the 8th pick, full PPR, 2 flex, round 1, 2? Do you go 2 wide receivers or wide receiver RB1?
I want to go at least 1 wide receiver because I think that's where the strength is in the latter part of the first round, that group that includes like Nico Collins, Malik Nabers, Brian Thomas Jr. And then with the 2nd one, I'm comfortable with maybe an Ashton Genty or a Derrick Henry or a Christian McCaffrey. But you could also just double tap wide receiver. Like either, there's not a wrong answer between those 2 things, but I want at least 1 wide out.
Overcome, thanks for the super chat. How to handle this? My buddy sent me Hampton and Najee for my Henderson and Stevenson trading backfields, Pat. Last night, I accepted it. An hour later, he sent the trade back. I rejected. What? An hour later, he sent the trade back. I rejected. I don't get this. So in other words, you agreed to the trade, and then all of a sudden he backed out of the trade? Is that what I'm buying here, Pat? Why is everyone's questions cryptic today? What is this, like a Travis Hunter divorce settlement I'm trying to figure out? What are we doing here? Hampton and Najee for Henderson and Stevenson last night. I accepted it. An hour, he sent me the trade back. I rejected. I don't get it. Do you get this?
I'm sorry, Overcome. We're not understanding. You might
more
need
information.
To clarify.
You don't have to super chat again. Just drop it in there.
But Joe, which side of that would you want? Would you want the Chargers backs or the Patriots backs?
Man, I fall in love with TreVeyon and Henderson a little bit more every day.
Yeah.
I'm trying my best not to. I think, I want the backfield with the guy that I think is just clearly better and going to get more work. And I feel like that's going to be TreVeyon Henderson. Now, I could be wrong, but Hampton, I fear that the veteran of Najee Harris eventually gets back on the field, and then it becomes weird, like 60-40 split, whereas TreVeyon, I think it's more 70-30, and I think TreVeyon's the explosive guy that you really want with the big plays.
What if Harris doesn't come back this year?
Oh, then it's Hampton all the way.
Shouldn't he be back from an eye thing by now? That's the thing.
Don't look at me. I'm deformed. I'm ugly. Maybe, I don't know what's wrong with Najee Harris. He's walking on a treadmill. I don't know what he's doing. You're not wrong. That's the upside, but it's the lack of information coming back. I think if we're getting this right too, the idea is you accepted a trade and then rejected it, or did they pull the trade away? I don't understand. It's a very weird wording on there.
Yeah, so, if it didn't go through, I mean, I guess it's their right to not, even if it was agreed in principle. I guess it's your right to ultimately not click
unless
the
it's a veto. if it got vetoed by a commissioner or something like that, that's stupid. First of all, don't do trade vetoes. They're effing stupid anyway. It's the dumbest thing you can do. It ruins leagues. If you think people are colluding, stop playing fantasy football with them. Period. End of story. Felix, hey guys, can't decide who to get with a 101 pick, 10-team redraft, full PPR Superflex. It's Lamar Jackson for me. Pat, how about you?
Lamar for me also. Real close. Josh Allen isn't a wrong answer, but I prefer Lamar as well.
I'm Team Lamar, baby. Everybody knows that about me. All right, let's get to Ronald's question here. Dynasty Superflex, I was offered Josh Allen for Drake May and Kyron Williams, but my RB room would only be Pacheco and Montgomery. Thoughts?
That's pretty thin.
It is.
But, Josh Allen is certainly a boost for this year. I love Drake May, though, Joe. But there's no question Allen is the much more valuable dynasty commodity.
I gotta tell you, if the roster is still in progress, I don't know, man. I feel like Drake May, Kyron Williams, it feels like in progress. Pacheco Montgomery's not enough at RB.
It would be a win now move, Ronald, but you would have to shore up running back maybe in some other way, like if you have any wide receiver or tight end depth, or now quarterback depth after getting Josh Allen.
All right. Next one here from Turtles Be Turton. Oh, I love Turtles. Good to see Turtles back here. In Keeper Superflex, elite QBs kept. I have Bowers in the 11th. Strategy: pick up suspect QB early or go heavy RB/wide receiver in the first 5 to 6 rounds and pick up the scraps. Pat, what do you want to do?
I mean, I want to get at least one top 15 to 18 quarterback. At least one. Like, you can get by with Jordan Love and Michael Penix or something like that, as long as you're building advantages elsewhere. And obviously Bowers as an 11th round keeper is a huge advantage at tight end. Maybe take advantage and get a top running back or wide out early on. But yeah, I mean, I do think, like, I don't want to try to piece it together with Russell Wilson and Michael Penix. No. You've got to have that one stable commodity at quarterback.
Well, if it's like a retread like Dak Prescott or Justin Herbert got dropped back in the pool, I'm taking those guys.
Sure.
Like I'm doing that. So hopefully that helps you there, Turtles. Let's get to Overcome has more information. Okay, here we go. There we go. The Agatha Christie miracle. Oh, yeah. No. The trade went through and they wanted to undo it. Overcome. I told you didn't have to pay. We get you back on here. We're men's of the people here. No, F him. Screw him. Tell him to stop getting drunk. It's a Friday and I'm dropping the Fs everywhere. I don't care. I mean, we're going to get flagged here on the YouTube channel. But seriously, what kind of person does that? You offer a trade, you stand by the trade. If you don't like the trade, it's too bad. Right. Like, don't offer the trade or pull it back.
No takebacks, just like when we were kids, Joe.
No take. See, Fitzy gets it. All right, let's go to Ryan's question here. At the 5 spot in a 10-team PPR, Jahmyr, Bijan, and Gibbs are gone before my pick. What 2 guys would you rank next between CeeDee, JJ, and Barkley? I know my order.
Yeah.
I don't know if you need time.
So if it's start 3 receivers, it's the order in which they appear: Lamb, Jefferson, and Barkley. If you only need to start 2, although in a 10-teamer, I would hope that you are required to start 3. Then maybe I'd vault Barkley, but past both guys, actually. I know you don't feel that way.
No, I don't. I'm taking Jefferson still. I just believe. I'm just gonna blindly believe in the talent of Justin Jefferson. What he did last year with Sam Darnold was impressive. I think JJ is gonna be fine. And I think I love CeeDee Lamb, but I'm just worried that we're all chasing that incredible run that he had 2 years ago. And I don't know if we're ever gonna see that run again, where the last 10 games, and people forget, Pat, the first 4 to 6 weeks of that season, people are pissed off at, straight up mad at CeeDee Lamb. Do you remember that? They were like, why isn't he doing anything? They were like, the emoji of him, poking him with a stick, do something. That was CeeDee Lamb. And I just don't want to chase that magical run from 2 years ago, thinking that it's something that can repeat. I'm very concerned I can't do it. Jefferson,
I debated
is the safest one.
I debated it with those 2, but now the Jefferson hamstring thing definitely has me on Team Lamb.
It's August 15th. I think we'll be fine. We got time. We're going to wait that one out. That's what we're going to do. All right, let's get to the next question here. We got another. The super chats are flying. What is it? September? What is it? October, Pat? No, it's August. Look at all the super chats. Best options at the turn in the 9 spot in our keeper league are Amon-Ra, AJ Brown, or London AJ Brown. What do you guys think? And then keeping
Chase Brown and
Kyren in
nice.
the 17th. There you go. RB room's good.
All right, so I like tapping that and getting 2 of the top 10 wide receivers. I have London ranked ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown this year, and I actually think he's likely to earn more targets than Amon-Ra, whose targets dipped from over 10 a game in 2023 to like 8.2 last year. And for Amon-Ra to finish where he did, which was like wide receiver 4 in PPR, he needed to have a catch rate over 80%, which is just obscene, and a career high 12 touchdowns. And I don't know if either of those things repeat, Joe. So like London is the ascendant power here, and he clicked in a big way with Michael Penix down the stretch. And don't tell me that 2 of those games were overtime games, because the Falcons didn't get the ball in either of them, Joe. I've heard that this week. Don't tell me that.
Not for me. I like Amon-Ra in London. Can I get that? Can I not have AJ Brown? Just saying. That's how I want to start. I started a Superflex team a couple weeks ago with Joe Burrow and those 2 wide receivers. I was very pleased from the 4 spot. I'll take that all day long. All right, let's get to another question here. We got another super chat. Again, super chats go right to the top of the queue here. I'm going to get to as many questions as we can. QB premium auction with a plus minus 0.5 per completion, incompletion. Ugh. And the top dudes get huge money every year. Who's your favorite budget, high volume passer? Dak Prescott.
Yeah,
High
Dak
volume,
is one
that
for
run game
sure.
sucks.
I mean, if you want to go in the budget, so for a league like that, I think Dak is going to be expensive.
In a single quarterback still? You think so?
Yeah, just because of the importance of the quarterback position. I mean, what about Purdy?
I was going to say Purdy, but my pivot was Purdy. Of course, I was thinking the same way.
That defense is not going to be good.
Schedule's good, though, too.
And the schedule's nice and soft. And I actually, I know they ran a lot last year, but watch, things are going to balance out with the Green Bay Packers this year. They're going to throw more with Jordan Love. He's kind of a sneaky one.
I could see that. Those are all good options there. Hopefully it works out for you. All right, let's go to more questions here. We got another one from Pat Fan. Obviously a fan of Pat Fitzmaurice, not necessarily the Patriots, I'm assuming. Yo, 10-team Superflex PPR 15th round. I have Allen as my keeper in the first round. We have a second keeper. Should I go Nabers? I like how you spelled Nabers as though it's like an actual neighbor. In the 8th or Fields in the 14th? I want Nabers in the 8th.
Yeah.
The upside of Malik Nabers is so high, I think.
I think so. Boy, cementing the quarterback combo with Allen and Fields and sacrificing a late pick to get Fields.
It's only a 10-team Superflex, so you're not.
Yeah, that's true.
Deep. That was my instinct. I don't think there's a wrong answer here, but because it's 10 teams, we're talking about 20 started quarterbacks every week, but everybody gets a third quarterback in this league.
I agree. Yeah, if it's a 12-teamer, it might be a little different calculus there. But I agree with you.
I think I would go Fields in the
I'm with you.
Team.
Talk
10,
into it, Joe.
10 changes. 10 changes things a lot. Gabriel, supply and demand. Simple math, boys and girls. Chase Brown or Bucky or James Cook?
It's Bucky for me. What about you, Joe?
It's still Bucky.
A monster last year. Yards after contact per attempt, breakaway percentage. And by the way, in games, there were 7 games last year where Bucky Irving played more than half the snaps. In those 7 games, he averaged 127.3 yards from scrimmage and had 6 touchdowns. Once they flipped the switch from Rachaad White to Bucky, he was an absolute monster.
Yeah, that's good stats, man. I can't argue with that at all. I like Chase Brown probably the most, but and there's so much value there. Those second/third round running backs at the end of that second, third round tier, Kyren, all those guys. I feel really good about the bottom of RB1 this year. I feel really good about the top of RB1 and the bottom of RB1. It's the middle that has me worried. Saquon worries me. CMC worries me. I love Genty, but I'm trying not to get because I got so crazy Bijan's rookie season, and it didn't quite come to fruition. I don't want to see the same thing happen again. So we'll see. Allen Invasion, rate my team, Dynasty Superflex, Drake May, Bo Nix, Ted McMillan, Nabers, Devontae, I assume Adams, or maybe not. Devonta Smith, sorry. Pearsall, Hubbard, Harvey, Etienne, Scadaboo, Pitts, really good. Best rookie QB to target. I mean, there's only one rookie. It's Cam Ward. That's the rookie QB to target.
Pretty much. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else is going to pay dividends. I'm still a Shador truther, Joe, as you know.
I think he's interesting on the cheap. I do.
Yeah,
I think he's the best guy they have.
That's kind of it, but it's a pretty bad quarterback class. I like this team. It's ascendant for sure. I don't know if your ETA is 2025, but by 2026, this team could be a machine.
This is a hard B that could be an A- in a year. If Tet and Nabers play up to their ability this season and Drake May takes that big step forward. By the way, Pat, I've been watching the practice footage of Stephon Diggs. Have you been watching that?
He looks good. Looks
real
good. Yeah, it was a clean
up in the ranks.
Joe, it was a clean ACL tear, and guys a lot of times make a pretty quick recovery when it's just a clean ACL and no other ligament damage.
I got him in that same league too, where I've got London and Amon-Ra. He's my fourth wideout after Devonta Smith and then George Kittle on that squad too. I can't believe they let me do it, Pat. I can't believe it. Also, I can't believe that next Tuesday is our Fantasy Fest already. Can you believe it, Pat? We're going to be there right away. So make sure next Tuesday you join us for Fantasy Fest live here on the YouTube channel. Again, subscribe to Fantasy Bros YouTube. Make sure you click that little bell, ring it till it goes ding. We're going to be here from 2 till 7 o'clock at night talking football. We've got huge guests. We got Jamie Eisenberg, Dave Richard from Fantasy Football Today. JJ Zacharysen's joining us. We've got Justin Boone joining us. All the analysts from Fantasy Pros are going to be here. This is it. Fantasy Fest 2025. This is the way you win your league. So join us next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. It starts. Set your calendars, set your clocks, do everything you need to do. All right, let's get to Anakin. Anakin, Women and the Children 2 Skywalker is a funny name. It's a funny name. I love the YouTube names, Pat. I never get them right, too, when they're all when they're all lowercase and in a row. I always mispronounce them. I don't know. I have some sort of deficit with this, I guess. Traded the 402 in a 3-keeper for A.J. Brown, JT, and a 7th-round pick. I have JA17 with AJ and JT attempted to get Cook, but I know Taylor's likely going the other way. Just stay the course and keep those 3.
AJ Brown.
There's a lot of AJs and JTs and BJs.
So
and
Allen, AJB, JT, tempted to get Cook. I don't know. I think I'd stay the course with those 3.
Okay. Stay in the course. I like that James Cook got paid. Everyone has been really negative about James Cook to the point where I think he's become a value, and I've taken him on that roster, that same team. It's funny, we're just talking about all these guys that I just felt like were good values. I just kept sniping wherever I could get them. And look, man, I understand the amount he touches the football, the amount of touchdowns he scored. It's tough to repeat, except when it does. And I feel like we had the same conversation 2 years ago about Kyren Williams. And then Kyren Williams was the model of consistency scoring touchdowns last year. And we all went, I guess it is repeatable. And I don't know. I just think he's too crucial to what the Bills do offensively because they don't have a real star besides Josh Allen. They don't.
They like to play they play 3 backs. That's my only issue, Joe. Like they play, I mean, Ty Johnson
do you think they do that as much this year, though, after they paid him?
I think they do. Like Ty Johnson is their preferred 3rd down back. Like he led all running backs in air yards last year, which is a weird stat.
Really?
But yes, very true. Yes, and
wow.
I think they see Davis as a little bit more of a banger inside. So I don't know. They're going to use all 3 guys. That's just the Bills are annoying. Josh Allen is the only constant, and then it's just this mishmash at every other position.
I'm probably with you. I stay the course, but I understand the question for sure.
Yep.
Benjamin traded Kyler for the 103 and the 201, then traded 201 for Goff. With Herbert, Goff, and Geno, is it better to take Tet at 103 and punt quarterback to 2026, where I have a shot at the 101, my own first and 2 seconds? 100% punt till next year because you got Sellers, you've got maybe Manning, you've got Nussmeier, you got all these guys next year.
Yeah,
I'm 100% in for that. You, Pat?
Yeah. Some people like Drew Aller. I'm not as big a Drew Aller fan, but I know some people are. Yeah. So no, I agree. Take it with Tedero and McMillan this year, and like. He's already okay at quarterback, you know?
Yeah. Lionel Coles. Hi, guys. Listening to all your podcasts. Every day while I ran, just be cancer. That's amazing. Lionel, that's awesome. Wow.
That's really cool, Lionel.
I'm from Belgium. I love the NFL for 20 years, playing Fantasy 8. Thanks for what you're doing. Love this game. Lionel, we love you, man. That's amazing stuff. Shout out to you.
Yep.
Running every day, beating cancer, kicking ass, man. That is so cool. So, It's funny, Pat. We always think about, we're not saving lives, we're not doing things important, we're talking football, we're having fun, but we are a part of people's everyday. And, sometimes we need the show, I feel like, just as much as other people need the show. Like, we need to do this show and escape our real life sometimes as we need as other people need it too. So it's a service we're providing here, and we're very happy. Everybody give Lionel some love in the chat right now. Everybody shout out Lionel. That's an incredible thing. I absolutely love that. Very cool. All right, let's get to Scott's question here. I have a second pick in a 12-team PPR, taking Bijan in the first, taking Chase in the second, and then Kittle in the third, or take McBride in second and Tyreek or JSN in the third. Thanks.
I would rather go with the Chase Brown Kittle combination.
Okay.
In 2 and 3 than McBride and a lesser wide receiver.
All right, there you have it. I agree. I'm with you. All right, let's go to Amazon Pancakes. When are you guys drafting all the rookie RBs? At cost, because I like the ADP they're going at. I don't, besides Genty, like that's the only one that's super expensive. But for me, I love that I get TreVeyon right now where I'm getting him. Now, if he has another big preseason game, that's going to change, folks. Caleb Johnson is, I think, going in the perfect spot where I really like him. He's just outside the top 24, right? He's like, RJ Harvey's at 21, TreVeyon's at 22, Caleb's at 28, right? So, like, I love it. I love that value, especially for an early wide receiver drafter like myself. Pat, how about you? Are you being aggressive maybe on one of these guys around sooner?
I am. I mean, I'm willing to draft Genty in the first round. Pretty much anywhere from like 9 on, 10 on, maybe 10 on. Like Hampton, I would not be surprised. Like if we get some alarming news, we're like one bit of bad Najee Harris news away from Omarion Hampton being a second rounder.
In that draft, by the way, that one I keep referencing, he lasted. So he went past Mixon. I'm talking about he went. I'll start to pull up that draft, but he went so late, Pat, that I couldn't even believe it. And I'm the price and force guy, but I didn't get a chance to price and force it at the end. But it got to a point where I was just kind of saying, my God, where are we going here with this one? Let's get another question up here. I pull up that draft and I'll tell you what round he went in the experts, quote unquote, draft. Awesome Dev. Hi, bros. Drafting 7th in a 10-team Superflex PPR. I know my league mates, and I have a good chance of getting the 2 top 5/6 QBs. What do you think? Ooh. Also, do I hit wide receivers after this or best player available?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for getting those top 5 quarterbacks in a super flex. BPA, but I would certainly skew towards wide receiver if you have to start 3 of them in a 10 team.
All right, Najee Harris, trying to find where he went in this one here, because I think it's very interesting when you're talking about, again, expert league where you're talking like Andy Barron's is in this league. I'm in this league. Ratcliffe is in this league. Debro, if we call him an expert, he's in this league. Where did he go? He was so late. It was okay. He went in the 14th round. Now, granted, it was Superflex. So if you want to dial that back to the 12th, but still, that's crazy, right? 12th round, 14th round. That's
yeah. Wow. So I heard our friend Evan Silva talking about this on a show, and Evan's got a friend who's an ophthalmologist, and he's like, eyes recover from things quickly, and if you're not on the way to recovery after 3 or 4 days, like there's a problem. Like,
but they keep calling it a super. Not is it superficial? The word I'm saying it's not a. It wasn't eye damage. It was around the other area. Is that what it was? Like,
you'd think that would be well on its way to healing by now.
Pick 6 in a PPR super full at number 1 is definitely taking Saquon. There you go, Slice. There you go. A step closer to winning your league. If Chase falls to me, easy money. Won't wait on QB as long as Joe did in that mock the other day. No, I did not. I did that. I told everybody why I was going to do it. I was going to see how far I could push the envelope. And I pushed it. I fell off a cliff, but I think it was partially because I took Bowers too. And that's probably where I should have bucked the trend for QB, but I haven't taken Bowers in one mock. By the way, I still did better than the other guys in that mock in the grade. Just saying. Spoiler, if you haven't seen the show, go watch it. Just came out right now. So what do you think? You want to take Chase or you want to go for those big QBs here?
I mean, if I get one of the runners, I'm taking them before Chase. Burrow versus Chase, I'm a little torn on.
I take Burrow.
You would take Burrow over Chase?
My 3 are Lamar, Allen, Burrow. I think that's your lock-in top 3 quarterbacks this year. I really do. And then after that, if you want to take Daniels or Hurts, I get it. But I think I would take Chase because I actually like the value of QB this year. I think the Purdy's, the Mays, the Justin Herberts, Dak Prescott's, like the Justin Fields. There's a lot this year. There's a much deeper pool that we're swimming in this year as opposed to last year when it comes to QB. So just putting that out there. Aaron Matthews. Fair. I love all these super chats. Again, it's difference of opinion. But I think you can make it work. 2025 keeper choices for 10-team, 2 QB auction league. Yeah, let's go. Jahmyr at 40. Ooh, expensive. Puka at 38. Xavier Worthy at $1 or Josh Allen at 54. 2 QB. I think you got to keep Josh, right?
Yeah, just because of these others. And, man, I'm just like, if it's 2, I'm taking the value on Worthy. I'm cutting corners there.
Fair. Yeah, I'm taking the 2 big dogs, and I'm saying screw you to the rest of the league because I think I'm smart enough to figure it out. I'm taking Gibbs and Allen, and then I'm finding value.
Puka's the one I'm crossing off right now with the Stafford issue, and Adams is going to be there. That's a little messy. So,
Aaron, here's another reason why I'm going to go in a 10-team 2 QB league. Right? Not only do I want Josh Allen, but I can afford to pay up for these guys because replacement value on the waiver wire is going to be better in a 10-team league than the 12-team league. That's so true. The auction draft, quote unquote, is just for me getting the best guys to kick your ass with every single week. And then after that, that's when I can start turning things around and be like, I'll play the waiver wire. I'll make some smart trades. Like Worthy for $1 is a great value to Pat's point, but he ain't Jahmyr Gibbs. He ain't winning me weeks. Gibbs is winning me weeks. Allen's winning me weeks. Those are the dudes I want personally. And then I'll figure it out. It's a 10-team league. I mean, the replacement value is so much better. So much more depth too. Eventually, the dollar guys there are going to be way better than dollar guys in a 12-team league. Way better. Cam, my league quarterbacks, like you could just get like Buka and Diggs and Pierce and make those the rest of your wide receivers, right? And like kind of play that game with a bunch of $4 wide receivers, $8 wide receivers probably. Like you could play that game. Cam, my league QB gets 0.1 points per passing yard and 6 points for touchdown. Is it fine to take Burrow in the second round?
I think so. I mean, a 300-yard passing game with 3 TDs is 30. Wait, that's 42 points.
I mean, I can't say no.
No, wait, Joe. No, it's 48 points.
48. Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Cam, the math is mathing. I think you do it. All right, Pisapia is here talking to us. Standard 12-team league, quarterbacks get 1 point per sack. Oh, minus 1 point per sack, excuse me. Minus 2 per fumble, and additional minus 2 if the fumble loss to the other team. Would this change your QB strategy? No. I mean, if anything, I'm just being a little bit more careful of some of the guys that eat sacks all the time.
I'm knocking down Justin Fields a couple of spots for sure in my rankings. I mean,
but he's quick enough to elude, like theoretically.
That guy's a sack magnet, Joe. I'm a little worried about Caleb Williams there too. He probably goes down a spot or so.
That is a good one.
Yeah, so they're just a couple of guys, and there's some guys who are pretty good at sack avoidance. Michael Penix, that guy was never sacked in college. So I mean, Penix. Like run through, go over to Fantasy Pros, check out some of these player pages, and look at sack numbers. I think we have sack numbers on there.
I just heard somebody talk about Penix. I think it was on Coward Show. It was Albert Breer was on. He was talking about that the people in the camp, I guess there's a lot of people that, who worked with the Rams that are working now, obviously with the with some of the guys in the Falcons there. And they said that they compared a lot of Penix abilities to Matthew Stafford, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
and I liked him in college, Pat. You and I had this conversation many times a couple years ago in the draft. I was like, I really like Penix. I don't know why anyone keeps digging this kid all over and over again.
He's got a hose, and he does not throw interceptions, and he does not take sacks, and he's pretty good at putting the ball where it's supposed to be. Yep.
Like he's not afraid to go. Like, I'm gonna go take this shot right here, and we're gonna do this. Like he did it time and time again in big games too. Where I was like, man, look at the cojones on this kid, man, throwing that ball in that spot there, just saying I can get it done. Sports and God, those are two things. I was going to trade away Walker or Connor to try to get another receiver. Who should I go after? I would get rid of Connor if I could first.
Yeah, I'd rather hang on to Kenneth Walker. What do you think is commensurate value for James Conner at wide receiver, Joe? Like, what could you get?
I'll tell you what, I would take Diggs right now with the way Diggs looks, which seems like a bad trade now, but I don't think come October 15th it seems like a bad one.
Yeah, could you get like a DJ Moore or a Cortland Sutton, or is that maybe aiming too high?
I think you get DJ Moore off the uncertainty of last year.
Yeah,
I'll take Cortland Sutton too. He's safer than all the guys we just talked about.
Yeah.
That's another guy I like too. Sutton's another dude that I like. I think he's copy and paste year over year. I think it's going to be the same exact line, and that was good enough for like what wide receiver 13 last year.
Yeah, would Xavier Worthy be fair value for James Conner?
I'm not the Worthy guy. Like I can't get there.
50 catches in his last 8 games, Joe. 50
yeah,
catches
but that was out of
in his last
necessity,
8.
right? Like when Rice is
There was
back,
no
what does it
Rasheed.
look like? See, that's the thing. It's like it's too uncertain for me. Now, if I really want to get rid of Connor that bad, okay. I just think it's too uncertain. Lionel here, follow up too. Thank you all. Been on a long journey. 38 years old, a wife and a kid. Fantasy actually really helped me. There you go. I love when reality crosses with the fantasy. All right, here, El Tomo Loco, friend of the show. Do y'all agree with Lamb's rank ADP? I don't feel all that last season, and the Cowboys get worse every year. El Tomo Loco is in his feelings right now.
I get it. Well, Joe, I mean, they don't appear to have much at running back, and boy, if Micah Parsons doesn't play, that defense isn't going to be great. It seems like the Cowboys are going to really have to step on the gas offensively to keep up, which would probably be a good thing for Dak and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens.
Probably. Again, the super chats are flying in there, so if you want to drop a super chat in there, now is the time. You'll go right to the top of the queue. That's what we're doing here. And also, don't forget, we're giving away fun stuff here. A free A.J. Brown helmet salute to service from the Eagles. Go Birds! And you can get this for yourself, for a friend, for a relative, for an enemy, whatever you want to do. It's from pristineauction.com, and it's free. We're giving it away right now. All you have to do, like this video right now. Boom, like it. Did you do that? Good. Now comment below. Tell Lionel he's awesome. That's an easy comment. And then after that, you go subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And that's it. Boom. You're entered to win this. We're going to give it away this month. So very cool helmet too. I like this one. It's sexy from pristineauction.com. All right, let's get to some more questions here. So many questions. Love seeing the super chats today too. Another one. Jet, 14-man PPR league, 1 QB, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex. Should I target an RB or a wide receiver early? What's the best strategy for this format? Pat, with the 2 wideouts, you often talk about, you have a little bit more flexibility for the BPA. Yep. Is that what you want to reiterate here to Jet?
Yeah, and I think I'd maybe prioritize running back in this type of league over wide receiver because there are less of them to go around. And in a 14-teamer, the herd's going to get thinned at running back pretty quickly. So I would, I would try to get at least one in the first 2 rounds, if not double tap.
That's some good advice there. It's a good advice. It's like the advice that Tom Hanks gave in A League of Their Own, right? Yeah. Remember Tom Hanks' advice?
Yes.
Did Jimmy Dugan advice? Also good advice. Yes. Hiking with Dan and Corey, my 12-team half PPR, 6 points passing touchdown, has switched to 2-player keeper league and also added a second flex position. How should I adjust my strategy?
Well, I would try to keep he said it was Superflex. Yes.
Yes. I'm sorry. I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd obviously look to try to keep a quarterback. I don't know that necessarily adding the extra flex really adjusts the strategy as far as I think you're still value hunting with your keepers. Mm-hmm. If there's no round penalty for the keeper, I don't know. Any thoughts on that, Joe? I don't think the extra flex really moves the needle as far as keeper strategy, honestly.
I agree. I would agree with you. Here's a fun one here. BM, Calvin Ridley or Jameson Williams, half-point PPR?
I like Ridley this year.
I didn't think you were going to go that route. Okay.
No, I think he's got a chance to finish top 10 in targets this year,
He's
Joe.
Another sneaky. Again, when we were talking earlier about the big auction leagues, quote unquote, right? The salary cap drafts. When you have those, go get the big dogs, man. Get the big dogs because think about the value you're getting on Calvin Ridley this year. Calvin Ridley could end up as a wide receiver too, right? In fantasy. I don't think that's a stretch with Cam Ward. Cam Ward's pretty good. I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised about Cam Ward. But how much is he going to cost in a salary cap league, Pat? What do you think?
Ridley? I I think he's going to be like in the upper teens, probably like
You think he's even
19
that
or
high?
so.
See, I think
Yeah,
it's more like a
maybe
12 or
more like
13.
mid-teens.
Yeah, I think it was like a 13, 14 maybe. But
Yeah, so I want to say he went for like 15 or 16 in our auction at the Kings Classic at the Fantasy Football Expo, Joe, but that's a 14-teamer too.
yeah, so right off the bat, I would take $3 off that because supply and demand again,
Yeah,
it's a little
maybe.
different. There's more people bidding, so they're just gonna bid it up. I think all those
Right.
prices are probably skewed. It's interesting that they do it with 14 people instead of 12. It doesn't really
I
help the
know.
people very much.
It's hard.
Owen, 103 pick. Are you going Gibbs, Lamb, or Barkley in a 12-team PPR?
If you have to start 3 receivers, I'm going Lamb. Otherwise, Joe, I've still got Barkley ranked ahead of Gibbs. In PPR, full PPR, actually in full PPR, I have Gibbs higher. Half I have Barkley. All right, I get it. And I know a lot of people are terrified that Barkley had almost 500 touches last year if you include the playoffs. Justifiably so, I guess. But man,
I mean, the data is so poor, Pat.
I know.
It is so negative.
I know.
It's not like oh, it's a mixed bag. It's a bag of doo-doo.
I know.
It is a bag of guys who don't even finish as RB1s.
I will say, though, still a great running back, running behind a great offensive line.
You know who else was a great running back? Sean Alexander in 2005 when he won the MVP, and he did it. And you know what he did next year? Ungats. Edgerrin James did it. Next year, did not finish as an RB1. Curtis Martin, another Hall of Famer. Next year, didn't finish as an RB1. And Arian Foster, remember him? He was pretty good. That one great year again.
Yes.
Didn't finish as an RB1 the next year. I could just go on and on, but I won't because the stream's not that long. 12-man PPR league, no penalty. Lamb, Achane, Jacobs. Ooh, no penalty. Here you go. We're just right in the thick of it. Where do you go for Mr. Six?
My order of preference is how they're listed there. Lamb, Achane, Jacobs.
I would concur. All right, let's get to Amazon Pancakes. Out of all the early old head RBs, who would you like to draft if you could only get one?
Well, we know your answer, Joey.
The old head QB. Derrick Henry.
Yeah, of course.
He's glorious. Look at that man. Stunning with this big ponytail coming out there.
I mean, does Saquon has to count as the old head, right? I'm Saquon, CMC, and Henry is my order of preference. Sorry, Joe.
I will take Derrick Henry over Saquon Barkley with ease this year, and everyone will look at me like I'm crazy. I was like, it's like I feel like nobody cares because of what Saquon did and the Eagles won the Super Bowl. And nobody cares that. How many rushing yards did Derrick Henry have last year, Pat?
Yeah, it was a lot, Joe.
A lot.
It was quite a lot.
You want to chime in with the exact number here?
I don't
1921.
Yeah, it was 21. I thought it was 1911.
1921, and he had 18 total touchdowns. Nobody cares.
Pretty good. He's good.
Nobody cares. Derrick Henry is great.
Remember the Derrick Henry panic after that first game against the Chiefs too?
I do.
That was kind of funny.
I do. Oh, I had him everywhere last year. Zero panic.
Ugh.
I'm like, let's just calm down. It'll be fine. And then I remember cashing my bet for 920. I think it was 950 yards and a half for Derrick Henry was the prop last year.
Yeah,
it cashed in week 9.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you were all
sitting there like
you were all over that one.
That's done. that's an easy one. Jerry just bought his black book. He just told me too because he just tweeted me. Good on you. There it is. It's on Amazon. Go get your black book right now. Andrew Erickson, Scott Bogman does the IDP. Derek Brown does it. I do it. I do all the quarterback write-ups. We just updated August 1st. Go get it. Thank you, Jerry, for supporting us at Fantasy Pros and the brands here, everybody. Is Dameon Pierce worth a late pickup? I'm hearing Mixon Door. I'm thinking Mixon Foot more serious than they're saying. Maybe that's a autocorrect there.
Yeah, we're hearing that too. Like, and you wonder if maybe IR is a possibility, and if so, I mean, Pierce becomes interesting. They've been talking him up a little bit for running very physically in training camp. I don't know if it's.
What about Chubb?
Right, but apparently he's not looked exactly explosive in training camp either. That seems to be the word. So if it's a 12-team, 16 round, like I don't know if Pierce is rosterable in a league like that because Woody Marks is there, Chubb is there, and it's the worst offensive line in the league. That's my big hang up with the Texans. Like that
Where was it
offensive
ranked
line is
last year?
terrible. As far as running like adjusted line yards, I don't know. I don't know if they were rock bottom, but I know they were bottom half.
And it's funny because in the bottom half, Mixon still had a career year, which is really
he's a creator. That's the way he runs, and I think a creator can make a little more lemonade out of lemons with a bad offensive line. I don't know if these other guys can.
Hot takes. RJ Harvey finishes his rookie RB2. Mahomes finishes outside the top 10 QBs. Hunter and BTJ eat each other's volume outside the top 15. You had me until the last one. Sparta, the last one's no. BTJ is still the dude. The notion, look. All right, Pat watches a lot of college football, so I hope he's going to back me up on this. I feel like Colorado, and correct me if I'm wrong, he's a corner, and then they had some offensive packages for him where you could shine in mismatches. This is the NFL. Brian Thomas Jr. is a big-time wide receiver in the NFL who played a big-time role at LSU, who was a dog there, and everybody underrated him because he played with a bunch of other stars there, and they found out the hard way last year. BTJ, I don't think is going to get shaded at all by Travis Hunter. Your thoughts?
I agree with you, Joe. I've got Travis Hunter in the like wide receiver 32 or something like that, and I'm way below consensus. And I just argued with your fellow East Coaster Michael Salfino about this in a conversation. Like Salfino's got him inside like the top 20, so I agree with you. I don't worry about Thomas, and I don't really want to draft Hunter where he's going in drafts.
I love Travis Hunter the kid. I do. I love the talent. I love the kid. I love the football player. I root for Travis Hunter. This is business. This is fantasy. And to me, you give me those two choices. Brian Thomas Jr. I don't think is going to come back. It's just not. If the best case scenario, he's the T. Higgins to the Jahmyr Chase. That's the best case scenario for Travis Hunter. I don't even think it's that. I really don't.
Agree. My guy E-Rock saying in the chat, like, Cohen was just saying, Liam Cohen, that maybe Hunter needs a little more work in his route running. Like,
100%.
I don't think he's going to be a fully formed guy in year one the way Brian Thomas was last year.
His route running looks good. Stephon Diggs.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you what, I like that little Julian Edelman light that they picked up too. That Efton Chisholm kid. If you're watching stuff,
he's going to
make. I picked him up in my dynasty league for $1, and I just stashed him there. Just want to see.
The Patriots cannot hit on a wide receiver like that they just draft conventionally early on in the draft, but they find all these little Wes Welkers and Julian Edelmans and Efton.
He played at the same school as Cooper Kupp too, and he broke all his records. Did you know that?
At Eastern Washington, really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, and he broke all of his records apparently, and he was like this phenomenon there. And again, he's this little guy. Like again, this is what they do. Grandola Rocks. I guess this is a Grand Lake Rocks. See, I never get these when it's all just like the one word. I always screw this up. Grand Lake Rocks. Thoughts on my 14-team PPR roster: Prescott, Lawrence at QB. Then we have Irving, Hubbard, Mason, Charbonnet, Dobbins, Bigsby, RB. Then Lamb, McMillan, Judy, Mooney, McBride. Drafted $300 for first. I think it's a pretty good squad. I think whenever you go early in a 14-team league, I understand doing it too. You have a distinct advantage at tight end, but you're always going to look a little bit light in the wide receiver room, and that's how it looks to me. So you should be looking at the Pop Douglases of the world. You should be stashing these guys that are getting weird draft camp buzz, because in a 14-team league, they might be floating out there. Maybe they are, maybe they're not, but just keep that in mind. What do you think of this roster?
I like it a lot. For a 14-teamer, normally there's some weaknesses. I don't think he's too bad at wide receiver. I mean, I've got McMillan ranked inside the top 20, and I've got Judy ranked as a wide receiver 3. Yeah, exactly. And, he was smart about not going for the luxury quarterback after getting Trey McBride.
What do you think of the 8th pick, full PPR, 2 flex, round 1, 2? You guys go with 2 wide receivers. Did we do this one? I think we did this one.
Yeah, we said at least one wide receiver, and then you can
all right, so
double
let's get
tap.
to some more questions here. Let's get to Maddie's question. 10-man PPR, who would you take early? Would you take tight end early or wait until later? In a 10-team, I don't mind if you get a value on Bowers or McBride. Other than that, I'm absolutely waiting. And I'll take shots on Andrews. I'll take shots on Hawkinson. I'll even take shots on Tyler Warren and Loveland or Tucker Kraft or those guys late.
It's greater incentive in a smaller league to be strong at the onesie positions, quarterback and tight end. Yeah. I'm totally cool with spending a top 20 pick on Bowers there. I'm less keen on Trey McBride than some of my Fantasy Pros colleagues are. And
Me too. See, you and I are in that same camp.
yeah.
Why?
Because I feel like the Cardinals organization has a mandate for Marvin Harrison Jr. to get going. Like Gannon and Petzing, Jonathan Gannon and Drew Petzing, like they're in trouble if Marvin Harrison has another 800 something yard season as a former number 4 overall pick. And also, this McBride not scoring touchdown things, I know everyone thinks that's going to like normalize and he's going to score 8 or 9. This dude has not scored touchdowns ever going all the way back to college. It's just a weird thing, and maybe snaps out of it, but maybe not.
All right, Axel's doing crowdsourcing here. I asked Welsh and Andrew earlier the same thing. If Barkley is a consensus bad pick, why is he ranked top 3? And what spot are you willing to take him? Because this consensus doesn't make it true. Look, ADP consensus, it's polling. It's based largely off of last year with a sprinkle of projections to this year. You're not going to necessarily just hammer him in all this because it hasn't come to fruition, but the data points about guys who have 400 plus carries the next year is really bad in the last 25 years. I'm not saying it's like kind of bad. It's really bad. And Barkley's not exactly a guy that was uninjured, nor did he not have a giant workload in college when he was at Penn State too. There's a lot of workload on that guy. So the reason why the consensus is where it is because that's where the players ranked based off of what he did last year. And again, ADP is not looking into the future. It's just polling. It's not the truth. It's not a look into what's absolutely going to be set in stone. But is there a better way to explain that, Pat, than I did? Or
yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of people draft based on last year, but Axel, don't tell anyone I've got. I would take Saquon 5th overall in a half.
That's fine.
PPR
That's
drafts.
fine. Yeah, there you go. Toby just saying hello. There you go.
Tabby.
Oh, it's Tabby here. Tabby's here. Tabby. Hi, Tabby. Look at you hanging out here. Tabby tags, everybody. Hi, Tab.
Oh, Tabby's the
best. Look at her just popping in here. At first, I saw it real quick, and I thought it said Toby, and I was like, wait a minute, no, that's Tabby. Very cool. Just hanging out with us. Love that. All right, Tab. How do I use the cheat sheet creator? Best tips, Patty?
Play around with it. I mean, so like that's the nice thing is that you can individualize it. So I mean, go nuts. Customize
away. Look, do a couple mock drafts with the cheat sheet creator, right?
Yeah.
And then see how you like your teams, and then change your experts if you don't like your teams, right?
Yep.
That's my recommendation to you. BK Yankee Yardman. I got to. This is what happens. I go blind trying to read these things. In a 10-team PPR keeper league, I have the 3rd pick, and I'm keeping Chuba in the 9th. Bowers in the 11th, nice, and Bucky in the 15th. Wow. Who would you draft with their 3rd pick? Again, this is hard because we don't know what's out there.
We don't know who's being kept. Yankee Yardman.
I would not keep a running back. I can tell you this. I would be looking at wide receiver. You got
wide
Chuba,
out.
You got Bucky. I want wide receiver here.
Best available wide out. Totally agree.
Right? That seems to be the thing there. Yes. Let's continue on here with some more questions. What do we have here? We've got Guy Nicholson. My final keeper spots between Tyrone Tracy and Khalil Shakir, 1 point PPR. Who would you take?
Right now, Khalil Shakir is hurt, and Tyrone Tracy is the starting running back for the New York Giants. So I'm keeping Tyrone Tracy.
Yeah, I guess for now. But Cam Skadbu will take that job at some point this year. It's
maybe
gonna happen.
Maybe, Joe, or maybe it's a split backfield, and Tyrone Tracy is the pass catcher, which is kind of the more valuable part of the split most of the time.
Okay, this could just be Jeff Goldblum. Yes. I got fantasy football questions and tools of Fantasy Pros. Lots of things to think about. Yes, when you're drafting. Fellas, Keeper League, I need some help on my keeper, Bucky Irving. A 6-round keeper, mind you. JSN in the 11th round keeper. Trey McBride, 7th round keeper. Bucky 6th, JSN in the 11th, Trey McBride in the 7th. Who would you rather have?
I'm going with Bucky. I think he is the truth, man. Like, I know some people want to fade him after what they consider a partial good year last year. I mean, again, Joe, games where he played more than 50% of the snaps, 127.3 yards from scrimmage per game. Like, he is the real deal, man. I'm keeping him over McBride and JSN. Right.
Next one here is, let's get to Tony. Keeper, 10-team, 1 QB, half PPR. Keep Breece Hall at 6, Bo Nix at 15. If keeping Bo Nix, do I need to draft a second QB early on?
So I think I'm keeping Breece here in a 1 QB. Like it's so
10
easy.
teams,
Yeah, it's so easy to solve the
It's not
QB.
Superflex. So,
And he's
yeah.
I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback for me. So I'm just taking Breece Hall.
Breece or Bucky for Dynasty while we're talking about him from Angel.
Oh, Bucky for me.
Yeah, you loving the Bucky. Loving the Bucky.
Yeah,
Pat Fitzmaurice, thank you for the Bucky.
We'll see. I get a bad vibe from this Jets thing. I think they're serious about a running back by committee. They've talked about it all off season. That's how it played out in the first preseason game. I'm worried for Hall.
Armando Lopez. I'm keeping Nico in round 2. Who would you go with, Hampton or K9 first round?
Hampton.
Okay. I'm with you. I would do that as well. Here's another one. Rick, would you drop Puka and Adams in ranks due to Stafford's injury? Not yet. I'm not doing it yet.
I did today, Joe.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait another week.
Yeah, I dropped Puka 3 spots. I had to put him
You
behind.
can see Jimmy Garoppolo week 1. Is that what you're thinking? Is that what it's gonna come to that?
Yeah, I mean, right now I'd rather have Nico or London than Puka, and I'd rather have who are the guys I moved ahead of Adams? I moved him behind guys like I think I'd had him. I moved him behind Teteroa, McMillan, Mike Evans, and I think Garrett Wilson. I'd had Adams ahead of those 3.
I think that's fair. Eric Dubé, what's your best Superflex QB strategy? Well, if I'm in the top 4, I want to get one of the big 4 quarterbacks if I can. After that, if you were in the middle and you want to start with a quarterback just to make yourself feel warm and fuzzy, you can, because when it comes back to you, Derrick Henry's going to be there, Brian Thomas is going to be there, Amon-Ra is going to be there. It's just math, right? But once you get into like the 6th and on, that's when I take the position players. I want the Chases, I want the Jahmyr Gibbs, I want all those guys. And then depending on whether or not you know your league mates well or not, sometimes QB flies off the board, sometimes it doesn't in that 2nd and 3rd round. You really got to, test the waters a little bit. Draft spot is really important, Pat, for me. Like my first 5 pick strategy is QB. In the middle, it's up for grabs. At the end, I want those big time guys. And then what I'll do is, let's say I'm 12, I'll take Justin Jefferson and I'll take Amon-Ra. And then on the way back, I'll be fine taking Dak Prescott and Drake May if they make it to me. That's what I would do.
Also, I would just say, Eric, that like you have to be a little more proactive if you are on one of the ends in a draft. If you're drafting either 101, 102, 111, 112, because there's so many picks that go between your picks, you might have to tackle a tier at a point where you don't want to, because that tier might disappear before you pick again.
All right, let's wrap it up with Baked. 12-man PPR, 1 running back, 2 flex format. How would you approach this format, the 8th pick in several rounds, for several rounds, and how would you dictate, or let you dictate that, I should say, the rest of the draft?
Yeah, I mean, you've got some flexibility. I'm going to assume with 1 running back, it's probably only 2 wide receivers, and then you get like that 2-player flexibility. Mm-hmm. You can really go kind of a BPA and stack your board how you like it baked. Like, I don't think that really emphasizes either the running back or the wide receiver position. So you can just, I think it gives you some nice flexibility.
Do I drop Kupp, Diggs, Olave, or Ibuka for Pearsall? Kupp in a second. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Couldn't agree more, Joe.
There you go. That'll do it here. Don't forget, Fantasy Fest, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Be there. We want you to be part of the Fantasy Fest. It's going to be amazing guests, fantastic discussions all day long. You can also watch it back on the YouTube channel, but join us live. We're going to be taking questions all during it as well. An incredible lineup of guests. So be part of our Fantasy Fest Tuesday, August 19th, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then don't forget, drop your comments below, like this video, subscribe to the channel. You could win the A.J. Brown Salute to Service Eagles helmet. Go Birds! Right now from pristineauction.com. Again, ring the bell till it goes ding. Subscribe, drop your comments. And that's it. That'll do it for us. And don't forget, also, we've got the Twitch going on. We're on Twitch, twitch.tv/fantasypros. That's the place to be. In fact, right now, 5 o'clock, there's more discussions. If you didn't get your question answered, you can go over to Twitch and get it answered from the analysts there. Again, Thursday, 5 p.m., Friday, 5 p.m., and then Monday, 4, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 2. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on for Pat Fitzmaurice and our great producer, Sal. I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. I wish people would just play regular fantasy. Everyone's trying to tight end premium, and I'm in a all flex league, and let's just play fantasy football. Can we just play fantasy football, Pat?
I know.
Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. I feel like it's for people who can't win their league, so they gotta